What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. This is the Fight Club. We talking boxing today. We breaking down Artur Beterbiev versus Anthony Yarde, and 3 of the 4 belts are on the line. WBF, WBO, IBF, World Light Heavyweight titles are on the line here. Beterbiev 18-0, Yarde 23-2, and let's get into it. I'm Paul, pick 'em, win 'em, Concha, and I'm joined with.
Going on, man? It's Marcus Primetime Penley. We back with an episode. I don't even remember my last episode, but
It was
been some time.
Leave. Oh no, you didn't. No, you didn't make the tank card ever. That was with Kev.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't think I made the 10 card. So it's been a little, and I think we took a little break before that too. So I don't know, but we back, man. 2023. Let's get it.
All right. I mean,
this is our first fight of the year, actually, isn't it?
With me and you covering, yeah, the first fight was Tank.
Oh, Tank.
Yeah, but this is the first fight we will be covering, and the fights took a break for a while in like the last 2 weeks before the New Year's and 2 weeks after New Year's. So like this is the second one, or at least the second big one. You know, there's still those random cards.
Right. I think there's actually one next week too. I forget who it is.
I think you're right.
We'll get into it though.
Yeah, but. We got this light heavy and low key. The co-main events, the flyweights 112, David Jimenez versus Artem Delakian, both undefeated. It's a nice little flyweight fight.
Good little co.
The big boys right here. Yarde was the mandatory. A lot of people thought Yarde was bullshitting when he said he wanted to fight him, but then Yarde showed up to the Joe Smith Beterbiev fight. He was ringside.
I remember that.
Talked his shit. He looked him in his eyes. He made sure everyone knew that he wasn't bullshit, that he thought he could win this fight, and he's ready for it. I wasn't putting no respect on Yarde. I did do some of my deeper homework because I was casual, so I had to go learn up on him. I have learned that like he went from fighting jobbers and low-ranked people to all of a sudden being thrown into like a big fight because he's taking it short notice. And Kovalev's backyard in Russia, and like,
what year was that?
That was 2019. Like, so he went from winning all the fights he should be winning, and the next thing you know, you're thrown into a champ level fighter, and it has kind of never really slowed down since. Like, since then he's just kind of been forced to fight high level talent because he was just kind of thrown into the deep end. Responded pretty well. Did have some losses to Lyndon Arthur and Kovalev, but he did avenge the Lyndon Arthur win by getting a 4th round knockout in the rematch. So he's been looking good. 3-fight winning streak since 2021. He's been active, been finding good competition. But I mean, we don't even have to introduce the Demolition Man himself from Russia.
Heavy hands. Oh boy, a real fucking demon.
I'm sipping on the Storvlasky. For my boy Beterbiev.
Was that some Russian shit?
I believe it's Russian shit. I could be wrong, but that's off the name. I believe it's somewhere from his part of the world.
You feel me? Stop playing with him. Ooh. It looked like, what is that, some Gatorade?
Yeah, it's a little Gatorade. Power.
No, man, but Beterbiev, boy, I don't, man. I think it's gonna be an interesting fight, maybe the first couple rounds, but I mean, if I'm not wrong, I'm pretty sure Yarde got knocked out or knocked down by a jab from Kovalev.
The jabs will put him out too.
Well, I mean, Kovalev, I credit Kovalev's jab is up there in fucking all time in lightweight. So, I mean, Kovalev is different with the jab. I mean, it was an older Kovalev, but still, that jab is different. But, man, that alone scares me, though, about Beterbiev. You feel me? Like, that boy's got fucking bricks in his hands. He just comes forward and just thump.
Very technical too, because there's a lot of heavy hitters that aren't technical. It's like he is a very technical, but he's not looking for a knockout. He's just boxing.
He breaks them down.
Yeah, it's some of the best boxing you'll see, and as the fight carries on.
From a big guy like that, a big power puncher like that. That is some great boxing, because that shit is crazy. And then like to have boxing skills like that, and then to have that pop behind your hand with both hands, with any punch.
Absolutely. And like, I mean, we're talking about fight winning streaks. Let's talk about his. what is it, 18 fights in a row, all finishes, never seen a judge in his whole career. I expect this fight to be the same. 100%, I don't think this fight's going the distance. We got two heavy hitters throwing bombs. People will point out, though, the Adam Denise fight where he did get dropped.
Yeah.
People, I had to go look back, watch the tape on that fight, some of the tape.
He comes back, doesn't he?
Well, he was whooping his. The only reason that shot landed was because he was whooping his ass, and
wasn't he pressuring him.
He was starting to, like, coming for the finish. He was seeing the finish line. He was smelt blood in the water, whatever you want to say. And then all of a sudden he hits him with a fucking crazy overhand that he didn't expect. He was chin was up, and it drops him. And then he gets back up, and he goes and finishes it.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, he got right back up.
He probably got pissed off. They probably pissed him off that he even touched the ground.
And that's probably what low-key Beterbiev might be one of my favorite fighters, just because how much I've seen him get pissed off in the fight and then go finish right afterward. Like, if you even hit him with something that hurts him, or you headbutt him and the fight might get called, he goes in there and just flicks a switch on, and the fight will be over in the next 90 seconds.
Facts. Nah, man, I think Yarde could be able to get Lance a few shots, maybe definitely in the opening rounds when there's the feel out process. But man, if we're going into predictions, bro, I'm going with the under 7 for Beterbiev, man. I think that boy's gonna get the KO in under 7. That shit's gonna look like the Rocky scene from Rocky 4 when he's fighting fucking the Russian guy, and he's just fucking pounding Rocky, and he's just bah, 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 and he's just fucking taking shot after shot, bro. That shit's gonna look like that. It could get bloody for real.
I'm busting for another one.
Damn. Okay, 2 times.
So I gotta say, Yarde is an athlete. One thing I've learned, Yarde is
that boy is swole. He's like an Anthony Joshua
of a human, bro. He is not no pushover. He is a specimen.
Nah, he's flushing me for sure.
But Beterbiev, amateurs, he was a heavyweight. He is getting older. I want to see how this weight cut goes, but he is cut from a different cloth where I feel like he's going to make weight no problem. But he's getting a lot older. These weight cuts probably are getting heavier on him. So did you see the Twitter post where he said what he wants is, I think you put it in the group chat, he's going for all the golds this year. He wants.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe it's because he sees his time at this weight class is coming towards an end.
There's what is late 30s, mid 30s?
38, I believe, is his age. Yeah.
Oh 30, shit.
Yeah, because he started because he had visa issues, a whole bunch of shit.
That means he got to fight a young Bivol.
Yeah, so that's why I see him wanting to get this fight over with, and he just wants the Bivol fight next, because after that I could see him moving up to cruiserweight, and him at cruiserweight is gonna be a problem too, because cruiserweight's kind of weak right now.
Yeah, it's definitely thin. Bit way you got Jake Paul out there, come on.
You ready to sleep, right? You got Popeye. Hey, I would love to see Beterbiev versus Popeye, his first fight.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't think about him moving up to cruiserweight. He probably gonna retire as a cruiserweight.
He's big, right? He was an amateur heavyweight. He's a big one. That's why his power is so deadly, is because
I just seen a clip of him fucking pounding Usyk in the amateurs.
Yeah, one of Usyk's L's, I believe, is Beterbiev.
Yeah, that's funny as fuck.
It's one of those Sean Porter situations, because Sean Porter boxed.
Nah, that one fucks your head up, bro.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's what?
Yeah, that one's a crazy one. That's the craziest one I've heard.
But I see this fight going a little differently. I also, it's because the odds, Beterbiev is a heavy favorite. No doubtly, everyone thinks he's gonna win. I think he's gonna win. You think he's gonna win. Probably everyone listening thinks he's gonna win. Super favorite, not worth betting on the money line. And then I was checking by KO, not worth betting on it. He's super favorite by KO. Then I checked do the round splits. I do see Yarde, because even when he got finished, both his losses, one was a split decision, and the other one was a 11th round KO. But he was exhausted, gassed out. He's a specimen. He started throwing a lot of punches. I just don't think Beterbiev. I originally thought he would finish in the first within 5 rounds. Like by round 5, we'll be seeing a finish. Honestly,
Right.
I think Yarde may win a few early rounds and make competitive for like the first 3 to 4 rounds, and then that's when Beterbiev switches that gear, starts landing some fucking power shots, breaking him down, and we'll see it in like round 8 or 9. I think we'll finally see the finishes. So I took the bet plus 225 on the odds. Bet 25 to win like 70. Beterbiev to get the KO around 7 to 12.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I could also, I mean, I would like to see him get it done. There is a world, and that also goes to my one thing I was saying. I think he wants to get this fight over with because he's getting old. He wants to see Yarde. Maybe he does get it done super early. He just goes out there, finishes shit up in 3 rounds.
I want to say early too, but I also feel like Yarde is going to come out a little competitive. I think he's going to start the fight off of competitive. Maybe not like stealing or like, grabbing round after round, but I think he might come out a little aggressive and not just back down completely. Maybe until he starts really feeling shots, then he might back down. But definitely, I think maybe the first 3 rounds, I think Yarde could make it a competitive, nothing crazy. I'm not trying to even guess like that, but I do think it's going to be a little competitive before Beterbiev takes over for real.
And I will say, I think the fight's completely in Yarde's hands. Because Yarde, if he goes in there like Joe Smith and he's like, okay, all you got to do is catch him with a mean one. He's been dropped before, and I got power in my hands. He will be boxed up in like 3 rounds.
Pieced up, and then you're going to have a broken nose.
Do not go in there thinking you were just going to go into a firefight with him. But if you try to go off the back foot, maybe catch him slipping, like you have to use some boxing techniques.
Yeah, definitely going there with a game plan.
Do I think you're a better boxer? No. But you're going to have to use some type of finesse and skill if you think you're going to beat Beterbiev. And this is all just setting up for the Bivol-Beterbiev fight, because unless Bivol fights Canelo at 168, like he said he may do, there's nothing else holding this fight back other than this one right here.
Man, I hope we get that fight next. Bivol-Beterbiev, that's one of the best fights in boxing you can make.
My question for you, so we're both taking Beterbiev. I got Beterbiev around 7 to 12. Marcus got him under 7 rounds. So we're literally we both see the same fight. He just sees it ending a lot earlier. My question for you, Bivol versus Beterbiev. This is not who do you think is gonna win. This is not that question. My question is, who do you think will be the betting favorite? Who, when they drop the odds when the fight gets announced, who do you think will have who's going to be the favorite and who's going to be the underdog?
That's such a tough one, bro, because...
Or would it be like they're both like how the Bengals and Chiefs right now, they're both sitting at minus 110 because it's literally a pick.
I want to say that because I just don't know who you would lean towards and why, because you look at Beterbiev, he's undefeated, he got 3 belts, and he's gotten every knockout. He hasn't seen a judge, and he's been dropped once, but he came back up and knocked the dude out, so like you can't really fault him on too many things. And then you look at Bivol, you got a guy coming off Fighter of the Year,
he just saw a big light heavyweight in Zerto.
Just saw and handled him with ease. And and you know what he did to Canelo. Yeah, pound for pound in the world. Granted, yeah, he was a smaller guy coming up, but still, he could have folded under those lights. You fighting Canelo.
And I throw that excuse to the window because it's not like Bivol did like a Beterbiev on him and like this, like the power didn't train. Like he just outboxed him. It wasn't. Bivol was a big fighter. Like Canelo maybe weighed more than him on the fight night. Like they're like Canelo's stocky. Like Bivol's slender.
Facts. I mean, who really knows? Maybe even Canelo was hitting harder than Bivol that night. But it was about like the power or anything. I think Bivol just outboxed Canelo. He used his presence, just ring generalship, and kind of just dominated Canelo in that aspect.
So the question still stands. Who do you think Vegas will open as the favorite for that fight? Or would it be a pick 'em, a legit 50-50 on the
I think it's gonna be a pick 'em on the odds, but because I just don't know I even like, cause that's like the Terrence Crawford Spence and shit. Like I feel like that is also like, have they dropped odds for Tank and Garcia?
It was mythical odds if the fight ever happens. Like they're like, if the fight happens, you can get it at these odds. And it was I think Tank was -110 and Garcia was +100. So it was a pick 'em. Like it was as split as you could get on the odds.
Yeah, so like I feel like honestly it's one of those type of fights for real. So like, but me personally, I would lean Bivol.
I think Bivol is gonna be the favorite. I think he'll be like -200, and Beterbiev will be like +180 type shit.
The thing about another thing that
just
could go
because
into it,
Beterbiev's getting older, and also like when Vegas sets the line, if they make it a pick 'em, I feel like everyone's gonna bet Bivol just because everyone knows the name. Everyone, so if they put Bivol as like a pretty big favorite -200. Some people like the boxing community is gonna be betting Beterbiev, and the casuals will be betting Bivol, so that they get that 50-50 split that they always want. So that's why I think
I didn't even think about it like that.
Bivol might be a slight favorite on Vegas, in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it like that. But no, definitely age is definitely a big factor though.
38. Well, how old is Bivol? Like 30? Like
I thought Bivol was like in his late 20s.
That's what I thought. 28. I was gonna say at latest 30.
I can't Google, but
yeah, no, you're good. But yeah, and last but not least, I will say this: shout out Beterbiev. He's definitely on the A side of this fight, but Frank Warren and them Queensberry promotions definitely made sure this fight was in Yarde's backyard. I didn't even mean to make that shit a pun, but that shit was in his backyard. And
Yard in his yard? I didn't even look at it like that. Damn, all the gas
so Beterbiev, I mean, is this another Usyk type? Like he just doesn't give a fuck. Like road warrior. Like I've had visa issues. I've had to travel. I've always had to fight. Like I don't care. That ring is the same ring in every country. Do you think he has that same mentality?
And no doubt, bro. I don't think that crowd is gonna phase him. I think he's gonna go in there on some fucking Terminator shit and just go in there and get his work in, clock in, clock out.
I co-sign it, but you don't.
That crowd ain't gonna be nothing.
Hey, Queensberry, shout out Frank, not Frank, Liam. Shout out Liam, but who does beat the fuck out Callum?
Liam Smith.
Liam Smith, bro. Shout out Queensberry fighter. This is a Queensberry promotion, bro. You don't think a little bit of that Queensberry mojo carries over?
No, but I'm glad you brought that fight up because I'm picturing I'm picturing Yarde going out like Eubank, no cap.
At 50%? Hey, and Eubank, he's they're trying to they are not suing, but they are appealing the decision. Because like they're dragging it out, bro. You got beat up. Like, why are you appealing the decision? He's like, there was an illegal elbow. I do see it. An elbow did make contact, but it was like natural contact between fighters.
Yeah, not like an intentional one.
Yeah, in the motion, y'all are in the clinch type area. Like now you go.
Dude was just, bro. He's just mad. He just fucked up his money fight with Conor Benn.
Hey, I will say Conor Benn.
Knock his ass out. I don't give a fuck about the juice.
It's only been what, like 2 months, 60 days or so. Conor Benn looks a lot smaller for someone claiming he wasn't on the juice. Your size is you lost.
Nah, Buddy was definitely probably on the juice, but I still like him to knock out Eubank. Fuck the juice or no juice.
Nah, he definitely has the skill. I'm just saying, for someone claiming he wasn't on the juice, like. In 60 days, you look.
He looked real small. I seen him hitting the pads. Like before, he looked a little bit more like fuller when he was like in training camp, but now he looks a little bit more thin. I'm like, dang, that was pretty obvious. But I mean, I think he is going through the process of trying to dispute it or something. I don't know. And they also
got Eddie Hearn in your corner, bro. Eddie Hearn.
That's true. But they also haven't suspended him or like the WB. No sanction has suspended him or anything. So. I don't know. I guess we'll see how it plays out.
I don't think it's all money in my eyes. Boxing seems to be ran by money, and like if Eddie Hearn's able to pay off the right people, and at the same time he's telling them, "Hey, you don't suspend him. That's a big payday fight that's gonna be sanctioned by y'all." Y'all gonna make money down the road. You know, like don't suspend someone who's gonna make you millions of dollars.
Facts. We'll never know until we know.
Yeah, we'll never know, but it will always. It's like the Astros World Series, so it'll always have an asterisk next to it.
Yep. And the 2015 Super Bowl with Denver Broncos and the Carolina Panthers. Asterisk.
I don't think that. I don't think. I think that's.
Nah. You need to go
Von Miller. I think Von Miller put that shit in big bold letters, bro.
Go watch that film, man. Jericho caught the ball. That's all I gotta say.
The gold cleats is what sealed y'all's fucking fate, bro. That game was over before it started.
Fucking nah, man. Peyton Manning, they wanted to let him ride out on some sunset. Fucking Ray Lewis, fuck shit. This shit was weak as fuck. Fuck the Sheriff. Fuck the Broncos. Fuck Von Miller. All that.
Damn, that's coming from a Panthers fan. True. Never been said even truer. But we broke down the fight. Queensberry Promotions, owned by Frank Warren. Check it out on ESPN. Beterbiev versus Yarde. The Unified Light Heavyweight Championship is on the line. And don't forget to check the WBA World Flyweight title co-main event between Artem Delakian and David Jimenez. And as always,
a real firefight.
That is gonna be a real firefight, bro. Both undefeated streaks are on the line in that one. But this has been Paul Pickle Wyndham Contra. I was joined with Marcus Primetime Henley. And if y'all didn't know, well, now y'all know, motherfuckers.
Let him in, passing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been. I got a problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got tools, you can call them boy crap. Man, this gang got rules, man, you better watch your passes. This ain't not new, and it's some accent. All I say is true, you better stop your capping. Lacking really your ass all in the passing.